All right, man. So we're gonna do an NFL recap of Week 15. Talk about some of the biggest moments and biggest headlines of Week 15. There was a lot that went down, a lot transpired. Starting with Patrick Mahomes, man, who suffered a season injury, ACL injury. He's now been placed on injury reserve, and the Chiefs missed the playoffs. A lot of things in question for the legacy and the future of the potential success of the Chiefs due to Patrick Mahomes going down. Me personally, I've already stated that I think Patrick Mahomes is the best player in the NFL, and I definitely don't think the dynasty window has closed. I just think as much football as Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs core has played over the past couple of years, man, this was due to happen at some point. I think the writing was on the wall in their Super Bowl loss last year. I don't think they really recovered from that loss as far as addressing personnel and just their approach to playing the game. And then when they lost to the Chargers in week one in Brazil, they were still just lingering with a losing mentality, So I just think that a lot of things have to be addressed. And I think Mahomes is going to be fine. I mean, Travis Kelce was on record in his podcast saying that, he's a fearless, speaking of Mahomes, he said he's a fearless warrior and he's going to make sure that he comes back stronger than ever. And I just think also Travis Kelce is done. I don't think he's coming back next year. And I think it may be a 2 or 3 year window for the Chiefs to, get back to their next dynasty run. But I definitely believe Patrick Mahomes is going to, get back to the Super Bowl and win it like at least, 2 more. I've been on record saying I think Mahomes is going to end his career with like 5 Super Bowls at minimum, but he might get 6 of them. But at minimum, I definitely see him getting 5. And the great news is Mahomes has won so much at an early age. So by the time, like with Peyton Manning, when he got his last Super Bowl, you never know in the future when they make another run what type of personnel he's going to have. He might have an elite defense the next go around where all he has to do is be, a game manager. But the first couple Super Bowls, he's had to be like, Superman. But as time passes, quarterbacks only get smarter. That's elite. And when athleticism fails, they figure out, new nuances to approach the game. And he might get an explosive tight end or running back or wide receiver that's going to, carry the load. So I think they'll be fine, man. However, it was just disturbing to, see such a warrior like Patrick Mahomes go down the way he did, but that's just part of his legacy. So with the Chiefs being out of the playoffs, the Denver Broncos have now clinched the AFC playoff berth, and they control the AFC West now after their Week 15 win over the Packers. And right now there's a battle for playoff spots. Multiple teams are jockeying for positions. Pittsburgh Steelers, Buffalo Bills, Patriots, Bears, and other games will define the seeding, which will be very important for this upcoming playoffs because we're definitely going to have I think we're going to have a new Super Bowl champion. I don't think the Eagles are going to win, so I think it's going to be some new blood issued in for this Super Bowl. The Buffalo Bills, they made a comeback win on the Patriots, and they've now kept pace in the AFC race. The Seattle Seahawks defeated the Indianapolis Colts 18-16. It was a tight game with that, and the beauty of that game was the return of Phillip Rivers, who's like 44 years old. Phillip Rivers, man, had a great performance, man. He had 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He was like 18-27, something like that. He had an emotional press conference afterwards, and he was just basically speaking on how that game was bigger than him. It was something to motivate the kids that he coached and also his children. And I got to eat some crow. I honestly thought Phillip Rivers was going to, have a horrible game. And I didn't think it was wise for him to come back. But you should never judge a book by its cover. And also, all the reps that he put in, it's muscle memory. But I was just thinking physically, like, the game is so demanding. I was thinking he might get hurt or something like that. And I was wrong. And I wasn't saying this like, I dislike Phillip Rivers. I was just thinking like from a logical standpoint. But, his faith is mighty strong and, he has self-belief. And it was something that inspired me. It made me think like, wow, man, like anything you put your mind to, you can really do it. Although he didn't get the win, you could tell that the Colts organization and the teammates, rallied behind him and they got faith in him. So who knows what can happen. I look forward to seeing, in week 16, this Monday night matchup against the 49ers. It's going to really show after one game and knocking that rust off, he might just really have a very impactful game in prime time. So I look forward to seeing it. The Rams defeated the Lions 41-34. Los Angeles improved its standing. Detroit's playoff path became tougher. I watched the Saints versus the Panthers, man, and that was a very good game. Panthers had a chance to, really win the division with the Buccaneers losing, but it just seems like the Panthers keep finding a way to make it, easier for the Buccaneers to try to steal the NFC South. New Orleans' new quarterback, Tyler Show, had a an excellent performance. He showed up, made some big plays, took some big hits, stood in the pocket. So, New Orleans might have, their future quarterback, remains to be seen. Also, Patrick Mahomes wasn't the only person in Week 15 that suffered, an ACL injury. There was a lot of players that got hurt in Week 15. This was the biggest week of injuries thus far. Micah Parsons of the Packers, he suffered a serious knee injury and potentially impacting the playoff push for the Packers. He was very needed for their defense. Some of his teammates were very emotional after the game and were really just at a loss of words. But also, congratulations to him on his newborn child. I saw something on the news where he was expecting his baby this week. So that's kind of bittersweet to have that injury, but it's nothing like family. So congratulations to you on that, my brother. Devontae Adams for the Rams, he had a hamstring injury. His status is uncertain. Rams is who I'm predicting to come out of the NFC to represent in the Super Bowl. So that's the best offense I think in the league right now. So if they can get a healthy Devontae Adams, I definitely can see them holding the Lombardi Trophy when it's all said and done. Other breaking news this week that was crazy: Dolphins benched Tua and named Quinn Ewers starter for Week 16 after their loss on Monday Night Football to my Steelers. Man, I knew it was over with for Tua when he was chuckling with Jalen Ramsey after the game like he didn't just get blown out. Dude just care about that money. And the Giants waived their kicker, Young Ho, after he missed 2 field goals in Week 15. So, he's out the league. I think he's done now. So moving forward in Week 16, man, it's about to be tight with playoff seed, and every game really counts for certain spots to get locked up. And the MVP race is probably looking like they're going to give it to Josh Allen or something. But if Myles Garrett could break that record, he has somewhat of a growing injury. Hopefully he can break that record before the season ends. He got 3 games left, and I think he's going to break it against the Bengals, hopefully. But also, Jeffrey Simmons' house got broken into while he was playing this past week. That was unfortunate. That was insane. But outside of that, though, man, that's my recap of NFL Week 15, man. Y'all drop a comment and give me your thoughts, man, about, playoff seeding and what you expect to see this upcoming week, man. If you made this far to the video, I want to say thank you for watching. Please follow the God Level Genius YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe. Also follow me on other platforms such as Rumble at God Level Genius and Twitch. I am James VirGodo, and as always, be God Level. The genius is in you. God Level Genius.